So first of all, you got Gdpr Compliance. Now you'll be able to anonymize your database. You'll be able to anonymize your users. And if you want us to delete your client information from our systems, then we can do that as well. Now you'll have an OpenLM ID. You won't have to contact us and ask for support using your organization name, but you'll have an ID. The agent was got a huge reduction in CPU and memory and database loads. The server, also OpenLM Server, the core product, got a reduction in memory consumption. And we have two more supported license managers, NVIDIA and Altium License Manager. And of course that there were a few bug fixes as well. So if you want to upgrade, you'll need to contact sales and they will get you a new license file. Okay, let's jump to the app manager. Let's talk about the app manager. What does it do? Why do you need it? And how is it installed? So I'm going to give you a quick rundown. So what is the app manager? Now, if you have OpenLM, you probably know that OpenLM deals with floating licenses. But what if you want to use other types of licenses? Named licenses, node-locked licenses. What about those? So if you want to track named licenses, you'll need to use the app manager. Or maybe you just want to monitor standalone applications like Adobe Photoshop, for example, so you can do that. Now let me show you what it can do. Let's go over to the app manager right here. And as we see all the different applications right here that we have, we can ask ourselves first, why we need this? Why do we need to monitor named licenses? Like one license, one user, that's it, right? Yeah, but is that user actually using it? Maybe he's using 2 hours out of the day. Maybe he's just using one day a week. So you can get that license and give it to someone that's in the floating license pool, but is using for like 9 or 10 hours a day. Another thing that the app manager is capable of doing, besides monitoring your different named licenses, node-locked licenses, it can also help you set a limit to the application. So if you had 20 licenses, you'll be able to pull 20 licenses and that's it. The 21st license will be denied. Now this is good for policies where the 21st license that got pulled, well, sometimes policies say that if you over pull licenses, like you have 20, you pull 21, so the 21st license, he will not get denied. You will just pay through your nose you will pay double, you will pay triple for that license. So this way you can set a cap to it. Now let's try and see how this works. So if we set this to 0 and try to pull an Autocad license, just as a test. So now when we go to my workstation right here, and I want to pull a license, I get denied. License limit reached. Now the license manager, the app manager itself, looks like any other license manager. It's in the license server screen as just another license manager. I see all the features that it has, just like a normal license manager. In all the reports, also, I'll be able to select it just like it is if it was a normal license manager. So I have the Autodesk license manager, but the OpenLM app manager as well. It has its own features inside. So I have many kinds of features and many types of licenses right here. Like MATLAB is both named and floating licenses. Autodesk is a named license. Photoshop is a standalone license. It even has like Notepad here, just to show you that it can track anything. Now, what else can it do besides monitoring the usage, limiting the usage? It can also help you to set different consumption rules, different conditions for different licenses. So you can set conditions based by time, like if the time is before that and before and after that, then deny or allow. You can match this up with a certain group, like you can say, okay, USA can only use within their USA working hours. And anybody else trying to pull that license outside the US working hours, if he's outside the US, then okay. But if he's in the US, then he will get denied from putting the license. So let's see how it works. I have a rule here. If the application is Autodesk and the version is 2017 and the time is after 8 and the time is before 9, which we are following all these criteria. We are answering all the conditions. So we should get denied because I put denied here. So let's try to pull the license again. And we see that again, we got denied, but now due to normal USA working hours rule, which is this rule exactly. Now, okay, now that we've seen what it does, why do we need it? First of all, as we've said, to set the cap so you won't get overcharged. Secondly, to monitor applications which do not have a license manager, which use a named license. It enables you to pretty much mix and match different license types and match them to different users. Like if the user is using a named license, but not a lot, you can give him a floating license. And you can get someone from a floating license pool and give him a named license. It will be cheaper for you because the named licenses are cheaper. You can, let's get a few more examples. You can have users only using Autodesk 2018 or 2019. Maybe you got a better deal on 2018, so you can prevent everybody from using 2017 or 16. You can allocate to different users different features. Like someone that needs to use ArcGIS doesn't need to use Autodesk. So you can allow him to get ArcGIS, but prevent him from getting Autodesk. And of course that, as I've showed you before, you can set the time zones. So you'll have one server with all the different, you'll just have one server serving the whole world, and all the different working hours for all the time zones will be spread out here. So you can have the same server serving USA, and then after a few hours serving the UK, after a few hours serving China, for example. Okay, so now let's just set it to to allow, sorry. And so now when we try to pull a license, we do get the license. We can open Autocad. Now this is a pretty good product. It allows you to go beyond the floating license pool, the floating license market. You can, as I said, mix and match your own license types. But now let's see how it is installed. Now, after that we understood what the app manager is, which benefits it can give you, now let's see how it's installed. Now I got a system here. We'll need to install, first we'll need to install a server on this machine. So I'll quickly install an OpenLM server. And meanwhile, I'll explain about the different configurations of the app manager. For example, you can install it right here with the OpenLM server together. Or you can install it on your license manager, on a license server, or you can simply install it on a dedicated machine. Now, why would you want to do that? First of all, it's important to know where the app manager gets its data. So let me quickly open Paint right here to visually explain what I want to explain. So we know that we have the OpenLM server and the user. So the OpenLM server sends out data and the user views the data. Okay. But at first you had the license manager, which sends data to the broker, which sends data to the server, and then to the user itself. Now, the app manager works a bit differently. It does not use a license manager. It's an app manager, but it uses agents on the workstation. So on the workstation itself, you install the agent and you have a lot of agents here and there, and all of them transmit to the app manager all the information. Then the app manager transmits to the broker, and then it goes over the same path, like broker, server, user, that's it. So it bypasses the license manager, and it gets the data from all the agents installed on the workstation. So this is on the workstations. This will be on a dedicated server. This will be on the same dedicated server. This will be on the OpenLM dedicated server. And this is just any device. Now, you can install the app manager on the license manager and also on the same machine as the OpenLM server. But know that because all the agents are sending data to the app manager, then it might cause some slowness with the CPU, memory usage. So it's always better if you have a large installation, like 3, 4, 5,000 agents connected to it. So it's better to give it a dedicated server. But if you have a small amount, you can just put it on the OpenLM server or on the license server itself, whatever you choose. Okay, so now that we install the OpenLM server, let's just quickly choose a license. Click Next. Now we have OpenLM server. Okay, this is pretty much the core business of OpenLM, the core product. Now we need to connect everything to it. So what do? First, we'll need to install the broker and the agent. So the app manager goes first, then we'll install the broker, then we'll install the agent. So now I'm on the same machine as the OpenLM server. So I just double click the app manager, and I try to install. So yeah, it's localhost. Install it to app manager, install, and that's it. All of the installations in OpenLM are pretty much next, and that's about it. Nothing else. Maybe you'll need to put the license in the right place, but that's it. Now, after the app manager was installed, we'll take our app manager license file and we'll go to Program Files 86, OpenLM, OpenLM App Manager, License, and just paste it there, the license that we got from sales. So the next thing that you need to do is restart the App Manager service. So you go to Services and just restart the App Manager service. So it will incorporate the new license file. Okay, so we have the App Manager. It's installed. No further configurations are needed. And we have the license inside. So what do we need to do next? So we now install the App Manager. The next in the chain is the broker. So let's install the broker on the same machine as the App Manager. So next, agree, next. Again, you see it's a simple next installation. It takes just about under a minute to install it. That's it. Now everything's installed. Now we'll need to configure it. So we'll open the broker configuration tool, because we have the app manager. We just move all the unnecessary ones. So we got the app manager installed. We got the broker installed. We just need to connect between them. So how do we do it? We go to the broker. When we open the installation of the broker, it says that OpenLM Server is not defined, so okay. And it automatically found the port of the app manager. You see, it configured it automatically. So it configured the app manager port with the type. And if I click data inquiry, I get the status okay, when the uptime was, and everything. Everything is working well. Okay, now all we need to do is, if we have this connection okay, now we have to set this connection from the broker to the server. So how do we do that? We simply click here. Oops. We click here in the OpenLM Broker configuration tool. We'll click on OpenLM Servers, add OpenLM Server. Now this is localhost. Yeah, let's check connectivity, apply, and restart. Now you see, I didn't configure anything because the app manager was installed beforehand. So when I ran it, it ran the detect right here. So you can also do it. You can also click the detect button. It will simply detect all the license managers, app managers, everything on this server. So now we got the broker connected to both sides, to the server and the app manager. So we just restart broker and close the window. We don't need it anymore, the broker configuration, because everything is configured. Okay, so now what do we need to do? We need to set the connection between the server and the user itself. So how do we do that? We'll need first to configure the app manager in the OpenLM server. So we won't configure the app manager, we'll configure the broker there. So let's open up the OpenLM server configuration tool. So what do we see here? We see nothing. How can we quickly add everything? Because you can add the type, the description, the host name, everything. But we can also do that automatically. So if we open the EasyAdmin, simply go to the machine name and port 7019, EasyAdmin 2, index HTML, or you can click here, go to OpenLM, and open up the OpenLM user interface. And this is it. This is the user interface. Now, what do we need to set here? We need to configure the app manager. Now we see these red lines. These are brokers sending data to this OpenLM server. So if I see the app manager here, so the only thing I need to do is click approve. And I'll call it the app manager. Click save. Now we'll need to restart the service. So we can go here, click apply, restart now. And that's it. The app manager is completely configured. Now the data is starting to come in. It will take about a minute or two for everything to come in. So let's see what we did. We connected the app manager to the broker. We installed the app manager and the broker. We connected the app manager to the broker to the server to the user interface, meaning that now we can see the app manager on the user interface right here. You see it's already green, it's up. Now we need to set the different applications because we got this, but this one we don't have yet. The connection between the agent and the app manager. We got everything ready for the agent. So, sorry about that. Let's imagine for a moment that this machine is a workstation. I installed here the app manager, the server, and everything. But let's say that this is a workstation. There is some engineer pulling an application license. He just wants to use Autocad. So you install the active agent on his workstation. So simply get the active agent installation, agree, next, next, next. But if you want to roll it out silently from a central location, you can do that as well. We have a script that allows you to roll out the installation of the agent, and you won't have to configure and install 1,000 times. You'll only have to do that once, and it will be in all the connected workstation. Okay, so now we install the agents. So this is the agent configuration tool that pops up after we installed it. So what we need to do, we need to tell it where the OpenLM server is. So we'll just punch it in here. So it's demo v4. Server connected successfully. Then we'll go to the app manager right here and also punch that in. Succeeded. Now we'll need to configure a new application. So let's say that we want to track Autocad. So we click configure. Oh, I already have something here. Let's remove it. And let's click add. Oops, sorry, it's not demo v4, it's win10 demo. Sorry about that. I'll also change it here. Let's see that it connects. Yes, it connects. Here, it also connects. Great, so we'll configure. First remove those. And now click add. So now we want to monitor Autocad. So Autocad, we'll need to choose the path of it. So we choose file. It's C, program files. I think it's program files, not 86. Let's go here. There we go, Autocad 2017, and I choose the executable file of Autocad. Now this is version 2017, and the vendor is ADSK Flex. Click OK, apply, and that's it. Now we see that it changed to unlimited, meaning that we have a vendor there, but it doesn't have a license quantity configured. So if you go to Start, Administration, then we go to OpenLM App Manager right here. Then we see we have Notepad and Autodesk configured. So we have so it's telling us that it's currently blocking everything. So let's click on the license consumption rules, and for now allow everything. Now let's say that we have, I don't know, let's put here 4, and Autocad we have, let's say, only one license. So if we only have one license from it, I should be able to pull one time but not twice. So just for testing, just to see that everything works, let's put it on 0 right here and go to our system. Now let's try to pull an Autocad license. You see, we're denied from doing so because if we go here, we have limit of 0. So if we do 1, let's try to pull the license again. Now we're able to get the license. And that's it. Everything is working. Let's see how we set a new rule. So everyone rule, let's call it test rule. And let's add a new condition. Let's say that if the time is after, I don't know, 8 a.m. If the time is after 8, then deny usage. So we are after 8. Let's see, I have a licensing issue. Oh, I need to connect it to license server, having issues with it. Anyway, this is a license manager issue, not OpenLM issue. I don't want to start checking it right now, but I was able to pull an Autocad license right here. So it means that everything is working. The agent is connected to the app manager, which is connected to the broker, to the server, showing everything to the user. So all we did here is trade the app manager and an agent for the functionality that the license manager had. Let me just close that. Might be that my license manager itself is down. But anyway, we see it right here. So we deny. Now let's try to pull an Autocad. Let's try to open Autocad again. Let's see what it gives us. So now we're denied by the app manager, not by the license manager that is now down probably, but the access denied due to the test rule. So the test rule, just to remind you, is this rule that I created. If it's after 8, then deny. So you can string all of them together. You can have another condition if it's after 8 and it's before, I don't know, 5. Maybe you want to do this only for a certain group. So if group include USA, for example, so now it will be only within this time frame for group USA, they will be denied. And that's it. Everything is configured. We see the licenses on the license server screen right here. If we go to the reports, now we won't have any data, we just installed it, but we'll be able to see it right here under the servers, just like any other servers. And that's about it. This is the app manager. This is how it's installed. You've seen that I pretty much installed a whole system for it. The app manager, the broker, the agent, everything, even the OpenLM server itself, I was able to configure rather quickly. It was about 10 minutes that I configured everything, and I just spent the about 25 minutes just talking and explaining about this, but the actual installation, actual configuration, as you've seen, around 10 minutes. Everything is all pretty much automatic. You can call it semi-automatic. And that's it, guys. Now, if you have questions, I would be happy to answer them. Now, you probably some of you joined in the middle and are not sure about what is the app manager, so you can also ask about that. So everything you want to know, just use the questions box. There's like a little chat box in the GoToMeeting interface. You can just use that to ask. I'll stay here for the next couple of minutes to answer your questions. So thanks. Okay, I have a question here. Is the app manager under evaluation period? Yes, indeed. You can ask for 60 days evaluation. Now, if you're a client, You can even get it, your long-lasting client, you can even get it for 1 year evaluation if you'd like. But you can also just get it for a month or two just to test it out, see that everything is working. No problem. Just contact sales@openlm.com. Okay, Martin is asking about the updates to 4.3. So let me just quickly go there. We'll see what's different now in version 4.3. So going over the list, we have first Gdpr compliance, meaning that you can anonymize your database if your users information is secure to you and you want to keep it secure, so you can anonymize the database and the usernames and everything. You can ask us to delete your personal information and your client information, everything that GDPR pretty much stands for. Now you'll get an OpenLM ID. So in the OpenLM Server configuration tool, you'll have an ID. So you won't have to come up to us and say, hey, I'm from this and that organization. You'll just give us the OpenLM ID and it will be easier for us to find you. The agent itself got a huge reduction in CPU and memory usage and also database load. The server itself had greatly reduced the memory consumption of it. And we support 2 new license managers, Altium License Manager and NVIDIA License Manager. And of course, a lot of major and minor bug fixes. So if you want to upgrade, simply contact sales@openlm.com. We'll be happy to issue you a new license, 4.3 license, so you can start working and upgrade your system. I have another question here. Sam is asking. Let me just read it. It's a long question. One moment. So Sam is asking if the app manager is something like Kibana, and I can't read that really. Too long for me. I'm not sure what these applications are. I never heard of them. They are, I see, monitoring unlicensed applications. Now, the app manager indeed can monitor your unlicensed applications, either if there are named licenses, or maybe they're node locked. Maybe they don't have a license at all. Maybe they're just like a standalone installation or something, like Adobe. We can even go deep down into custom built applications. Let's say you create a certain application in your organization. So we can also monitor that. So everything will apply, everything that you've seen, the limit, the ability to set the limits, the ability to set conditions. So that will also happen for your custom applications, for small applications, unlicensed applications, pretty much everything that has a process. If it doesn't have a process because it's running on the cloud, it's running online, then we can't really track it. We track the executable file, the process. If it's cloud, we can't do anything with it. But everything else, the app manager can support, yes. Anyone else has any more questions? Yes, John is asking, is the app manager used also for floating licenses? So yeah, you have also the ability to do it for floating licenses. So you can set the conditions and limit also on your floating licenses. So you won't be able to pull a big amount of licenses, and you can set the same conditions even for floating licenses. So it's all applications, all license types. Okay, so if no one has any further questions, I would thank you very much for your time. I hope that you learned a bit about the App Manager, that you've seen if it can help you in your organization, or maybe not. Anyway, I welcome you to join us next week, where we'll have another webinar, another workshop, but it will focus on another subject. Now we focused on the App Manager, we will focus on the Active Agent. So each week we'll focus on another subject. Okay, so thank you all, thank you guys. Have a great day.